Hey everyone, it's Jose32 back again. It says 366 days of cards, and this is tips for keeping your cards in good condition. Something a little bit different today, something I haven't done before. This, by the way, is a new mechanics deck from the Blue Crown, and I will be reviewing it tomorrow. And it is a really nice deck. You should pick this up if you haven't done so already. Now, the first tip, the most important tip, something you will always hear, is clean hands. My hands, I always try to keep them clean. I always wash my hands, especially like I come home from work and I work in construction. My hands can get pretty dirty, caulking, silicone, cement, whatever. And I always come home, one of the first things I do is I wash my hands. That way, when I come here to do my video, my hands are clean for the cards. I might not get them 100% completely clean, but I get them as clean as I can. Always have your hands clean. Don't be eating chocolates, especially chocolates. Don't be eating chocolates or anything. Don't be eating chips. Don't be eating anything while you're using your cards, because whatever you get on your hands is going to go on your cards. And your cards aren't going to be happy, then you're not going to be happy. And basically, whatever you get on your hands is going to go on your cards. So always try to keep your hands clean. And another thing is, if you're eating something, you might spill it on your cards. And also, don't, have your cup right next there, because you might knock it over and spill all over your cards. You don't want to do that. Always keep beverages away from your cards. Another good tip is, if you are performing and you're somewhere in public or wherever, maybe at a restaurant, maybe at a party, again, make sure your hands are clean. And make sure when you're performing on a surface, maybe it's a table, whatever, make sure it is clean, because if it's dirty, your cards are going to get dirty. That's always an important rule, is keep everything clean. Use a mat if you can. That sort of thing. Wow, those are nice. Anyway, what else was I going to say? There's other tips. Storage is another thing I'm going to say is if you're going to go out and perform and do card tricks for someone, don't use this. Don't use a white centurion. Don't use a valuable deck. I know somebody before was saying they were performing with one of these, it fell in the water, in a puddle or whatever, and it was ruined. Why in the hell would you perform with white centurions? Don't. If it's a valuable deck like that, and you want to open it up and use it at home, play with it at home, don't ruin a $200 deck. Use a rider back. This is all you need for card magic. And it's not going to, when you use one of these, they're not going to be distracted by the backs of the cards, which is why the new mystery deck from Be Deceived and the new decks from House of Playing Cards, especially the one from Be Deceived, were designed with just a plain back. That's the NOC cards, the NOC decks from House of Playing Cards, and the mystery deck from Be Deceived. If you haven't seen that one, it's got a black back. The reason why they're designed like that is so that the backs don't distract the audience, apparently. Especially the mystery deck. And this is not really going to distract them. Another good thing about this, everyone's seen a bicycle. They know what it is. They're not going to think it's a trick deck, even if it is. Another good thing about keeping your cards in good shape, a lot of people like to use card guards. I don't have any. I think I have one. But I really don't use any. What I do is I keep my cards stacked in a box, one on top of the other, flat. The weight of one on top of the other keeps them nice and compressed, kind of like what a card guard would do. And that's just the way I store them, is like that. Some people, I've heard, they like to store them like this, and that's fine. as long as you keep them snug, upright in a box. Because if you don't, and you have them like this, they're going to warp. They're going to bend in the middle, because they're not really made to stay upright like this. They're going to start to sag, you know. And then your cards will wind up like this. You don't want that. That's why I always like to keep them flat on the surface. So that, I can't really think of anything else. That's storage, that's handling. Some good stuff there, I think. And I could show you. If you hang on a minute. I can find it. There it is. This is my oldest deck of cards right now. It's years old. I had this since before I started doing Magic. It has holes in it. And you can see it's got some dirt on it. And that was before I started doing Magic, so I wasn't as careful with them. But it's still handles really nice. Look at that. Fans nicely. And all that good stuff. And yeah, it is a B deck of playing cards, so that might have something to do with it. But also just taking care of them is good. But yeah, you can see it's got some wear on it. I've had it for years. It's got some chocolate smudge or something on there. But they still handle almost as good as new. And they still look pretty good. And this is the only deck that I have that is actually pretty much looking like this. The other ones I have, a couple of rider backs that I had since I pretty much started getting into Magic almost 2 years ago. They're a little bit worn out, but they're still pretty good. But all my other cards, they're all pretty much immaculate. Because I have so many that I don't even use them that much, so they don't wear down that much. That's another good tip. Buy lots and lots and lots of cards. Use a different one every week. And it'll last you for a long, long time. Alright. Look at that. Beautiful. That's my oldest deck. And you can see that it's worn out. The box is kind of falling apart, but it's still in good condition. And this deck, actually, it says on here is 2006. It's got the casino date written on it, 2006, so it's 6 years old, and it still handles nicely. B playing cards, good cards. You see, get some if you don't have any. Alright, enough promoting. Oh yeah, I guess you want to know what these two cards were from yesterday. We have the Eight of Spades, which not one person guessed. Nobody, almost everyone was guessing picture cards because I said one of the cards had a picture on it. And then I pretty much gave it away when I laughed. And yes, somebody caught on to that. And yes, it was the Joker. Now, people who qualified all said Joker. Nobody said 8. One person, at least one person said 7, but wasn't even close. People who qualified were Mr. Card Magicianable, who has qualified before, is qualified again. Ninja Boy 123, Clayt 001, or Clayt. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing it right or not. Boom 1 Headshot, Bloomist 635, Mr. John 971, K3K4 Platypus, that's K3K4 PL4 T4PUS, and Magical Joe 97. Those 8 people have qualified today, so that's good stuff. And I'll put that away. How about we use this deck? We use this one. This one's got, and actually I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to shuffle up the cards. And I'm going to pick out 10 random cards. It's going to be a little bit different today. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 random cards from a random deck of cards, and I'll even show you the cards because I'm actually going to show you these 10 cards as well. We got, listen up closely, King of Clubs, a 4 of Clubs, Ace of Diamonds, 6 of Diamonds, 7 of Hearts, a Joker, which is a bird, a cockatoo or something, King of Spades, 9 of Spades, 5 of Diamonds, and Jack of Hearts. And now what I'm going to do, again I'll show you the cards just quickly. Jack, King, Joker, 5, 7, 9, 6, 4, Ace, and King. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix these up. And I'm going to, now, I'll just select one card at random. We'll say this one. I'll put those there. All you have to do is try to tell me what this card is, and you qualify. I showed you the 10 cards that this could possibly be. 9 of them are right here. You're not going to see them. There's 9 cards here. I selected 10. I chose one of those 10 cards. All you have to do is tell me what this is. And I'm not even going to give you a hint because you already know what it could possibly be. And you only get one guess per person too as well, which I think is more than enough. I'm not going to tell you what it is. There was code cards in there was number cards, there was a joker, there was an ace. This is one of those 10 cards. Just tell me what it is and you qualify. And that's all I got for today. Stay tuned tomorrow. I review this beautiful deck, the Mechanics deck, which you can get at houseofplayingcards.com. And if you haven't picked it up, I suggest you do so. It's really nice. And I will see you next time.